ఇంకా ఎవరు జాయిన్ కాలేదమ్మా?
ఏమో సార్.
ఇవాళ ఏం ఎగ్జామ్ ఉంది?
డిఎస్ సార్.
ఓకే. కొత్త టాపిక్ స్టార్ట్ చేద్దాం అనుకున్నాను. XML.
ఓకే సార్.
ఓకే అమ్మా, నేను స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను క్లాస్. సో XML. So, up to now we are discussing about HTML and JavaScript, VBScript. Now we are going to discuss one more important concept, that is XML. It is also a markup language. Okay? It is also a markup language like HTML. So what is XML stands for Extensible Markup Language. Okay? It is nothing but extensible markup language. So the name itself suggests that marking up of a language which can be extended. So according to HTML, what we are seeing here is hypertext markup language. Okay? Hypertext markup language. So now we are discussing about extensible markup language, which has a powerful nature when compared with HTML. Okay? And it has been released in the year 2000 officially. Actually, it has been released in 1998, but officially released is 2000. And it is a specification which is released by W3C. So it is XML is the specification which is suggested by W3C. Okay, it is a standard. W3C is a standard which contains certain rules. So there are certain rules which have been passed by the XML, okay, making it as a standard. Okay. Coming to the XML, what exactly XML is? So XML is one kind of a technique. Is a technique of or technique to organize information. So XML is a technique to organize information in a particular way, in a specific way. XML is a technique to organize information in a specific way. So one of the important feature of XML is extensibility. Okay. Extensibility is a important feature which is available in XML. And it is one of the successful feature which is available in XML. So what is this XML talks about or deals with? So XML allow you to create your own tags. XML will allow you to create your own tags. It means it does not follow predefined tags, and XML does not have any predefined tags when we compare with HTML. Okay, so let me overview this once again. XML is nothing but extensible markup language, which is similar to HTML, but it does not have any predefined tags. XML does not have any predefined tags, but HTML does. XML was released in 1998. Official release was the 2000, and it is a standard which is suggested by W3C. And coming to the XML is one of the techniques to organize the information in a specific way. So because XML contains user-defined tags, that is, user can create different types of tags which are not predefined in nature. Okay, and one of the important feature of XML is its extensibility. Okay, and it allows you to create your own tags. It does not have any predefined tags, so XML will allow you to create your own tags. So, and, mostly XML has been used in many of the applications, different types of applications like .NET, J2E, like this. So this belongs to Microsoft, this belongs to Sun Microsoft. Okay, Sun Microsoft, this is Sun Network, Sun Microsystems. So XML has been adapted in various types of applications which have been developed using either .NET or J2EE. And the one more advantage of using XML is it is powerful and simple to understand. XML is very much powerful as well as it is simple to understand. So there are certain roles where roles which have been used. So XML has been used in different types of roles. Okay, XML has been used in different types of roles. The roles of XML. Coming to this one, first one, it is used for structured data representation. First role of XML is. Second role, it is separating data from presentation. Next role of XML is it is a standard which is used for transfer of data. Next one, it is rule-based representation. Now coming to the next one is platform independency. And the last one is customized display of data. So these are different types of roles where XML can be used. So when you come across HTML, we have been using so many tags and they are able to format the text, yes or no? If you are using some tags like bold, italic, center, or some paragraph tags, they are making the elements or the data to be formatted or displaying the data according to the tags. But in XML, the formatting of tags will not be there. So it means that whatever tags we are going to use in XML, they will not format or change the appearance of the text. Okay, they will not be viewed on HTML. .html file laga manam output chudlem. So in XML, when we write, so XML can be written in different types of editors as we wrote HTML in Notepad. Similarly, XML also written in notepads, but whatever we write as part of XML tags, so whatever tags we are using in XML, they will not format the text as we seen in HTML. So let us say that if I put according to HTML, let me show you this I. So this is one tag. Which makes the text to appear in some kind of a format, that is something like italic, okay, something like this, okay. So this is not available in XML, so formatting tags will not be available here. So because it does not have any predefined tags, so whatever tags we use in XML, they are designed by the programmer or the user itself, okay. So they don't have effect on the text which is displayed within the tags. So this is what happens with the HTML. This is part of the HTML. But for example, let us say that I have a name tag. Let us say that Harish is the name. So name. So this type of tags are available. So name tag is there. Harish is a text. So if you analyze this one, this tag does not format this text, sorry. So Harish will not be displayed in a different type of a way. Just it is a name, okay? It is representing the name here. So there will not be any type of a formatting text type of a tags will be available in as part of XML. Now in HTML, every tag which we use, they will be trying to format this text and display in a particular order. But here, name is a tag which is used in XML, and it is one of the feature is the first one which is I'm trying to explain here, that is structured data representation. Okay, structured data representation is done by XML. So what do you mean by structured data representation? So structured data representation is nothing but, just now I told you, we see this type of structured data representation in databases. Okay, in databases. So what database will contain? It contains structured data, like if you are dealing with some employee information, so employee table will be there. Under employee table, let me write another point. So we are discussing about first role, that is structured data representation. So the first role is structured data representation. So under this type of structure, so XML is used for representing the data in a structured way. So, for example, we are talking about a database. So let us say that this database is dealing with employee information. So what does employee information will contain? It will have some ID, name, okay, ID, name or a designation we have, and as well as department. Okay, so these are the type of data which is maintained in the form of a structure. Okay, it has some ID, name, designation, and department. So XML will be used for representing this type of a data. Okay. Now, HTML does not deal with this kind of a nature. HTML have predefined tags. So that's why it will not deal with the structured type of data representation. And how this XML, coming to the XML, it is dealing with the structured data representation. So data which is structured in a proper way. Let us say that if it is dealing with the employee details, so employee details are nothing but ID, name, designation, and department. So if I say that ID, let us say that ID is 20, let us say that, and name is XYZ, and designation is assistant, and department is technical, let us say that. So what is this? This is one kind of a data which should be maintained. So how it can be represented in XML? XML representation will be something ID is 20. Now coming to name is XYZ. So here you should close this compulsory. And coming to the designation, let us say that assistant designation. Now coming to next one is department. So this is what the XML code will look like. So from this code, what we can do? So what are the possibilities or where we have to use such kind of representations? This type of XML file will be used in validating, okay, validating your details. Let us say that if you are having some kind of an account, okay, if you are having some kind of an account in Gmail or some kind of a bank account or whatever it may be, so whenever you are logging into your account, so you will be entering your details like username and password, username and password. Okay. So based on these two values, the structured data will be displayed to you. So first of all, these two data will be given as input. So based on these inputs, the fields which are required to display, they will be validated. Okay. And to represent the data, there are two ways of representing or separating the data. ID, name, designation, department are four different fields or four different properties which can be assigned to an employee. So how they can be represented? Okay, they are represented in CSVs or TSVs. Now, what are these two things? CSV is nothing but comma separated values, or next one is TSV, that is tab separated values. Okay, comma separated values, tab separated values. So how the data will look like? Let us say that if I give something like, for example, coming to this, that is CSV, and TSV. This is how data will be represented apart in XML. Structured data representation. Let us say that I have a RAM. For example, RAM is the name. Let us say that ID is 10. Let us say that age is 25. Okay. So this is how a comma separated values will be gathered in XML, whereas tab separated values. So this is a space which is available between the values. So this is the first one, CSV, and this is one TSV. Okay. And one more thing, important part of XML is everything what we write is in simple text. Okay, it is totally text. It does not deal with any executable code. XML does not have any kind of executable codes inside it. It has only simple text to be represented. That is what the advantage of XML. It is a simple text and it will be used for processing like validating like kind of a thing. Does not have any executable codes like or interpreted codes like we have in HTML. Okay, so this is about structured data representation of XML. So second one is second point. Just now we discussed about roles of XML. Separating data from user interface. Okay, this is the second key role. So among this one, regarding this role, XML, let me talk about HTML here. HTML contains data along with its presentation. So HTML will contain data and how this data going to be presented, that will be part of this HTML file. But whereas XML, it will separate data and presentation. This is what the important feature lies here. XML will be separating data with the presentation. So data will be separate and presentation will be separate. But according to HTML, both are clubbed together. So if we club, according to HTML, if we club the data and presentation, so if something have to be formatted, if some data should be formatted, HTML file, if we are talking about HTML file which contains both the data and presentation logic together, so what happens here is if something problem has happened in some kind of a formatting a tag, so what happens here is everything will be gone. So, but in case of XML, you can separate the data from its presentation logic. So it is the primary responsibility of the XML is that separating the data from the presentation. So so data is represented according to XML. Data is represented in simple text as I told you. Now what about presentation? Presentation according to XML will be XSLT. So we are separating data with presentation. Now presentation is nothing but the styles in which we can view the contents of the file. In HTML, we are using data with, let us say that HTML plus CSS. We can say that style sheets. So HTML contains data with the style sheets. But here XML will contain simple text data and presentations will be applied whenever we require. So let us say that we have three different types of, I will show you one diagram. So coming to the separating of data with the presentation, let us say that here we have XML data. Okay. So now what happens here is the data can be presented in different ways. Let us say that here it is there, here it is there. Let me show you. So this is our PC. Let us say that this is PC, this is mobile, and this is a printer. Let us say that printer. So this is PC, mobile, and printer. See, this is our XML data. So XML data, just now I told you that is ID tag will be the user defined as name. Okay. Designation as I told you. This is example. Okay. This is what XML data means. So this data will be represented in different ways regarding different types of devices according to the different types of viewers are available. Let us say that if this XML data to be displayed in PC, how it will be looking. If it is trying to be displayed in mobile, how it is looking. Let us go for the print, how it will be printed. Okay, so what happens here is data is there. Now XSLT, XSLT, now XSLT. So every device which are connected. So here we have different devices like PC, mobile, and printer. So the data will be displayed according to the PC based on the XSLT which it have. So XSLT is one kind of a representation of the data presentation logic according to the different environments. Here in PC, how this data will be displayed, it will be based on XSLT which is designed here. Similarly, XSLT for mobile will be there, XSLT for printer will be there. So this data will be displayed differently in different ways, different scenarios. So this is what the advantage of XML of making the data and presentation logic separated. But HTML, what happens HTML? Everything will be clubbed into one unit. If something is gone wrong, what happens? If the data has been manipulated, so everything will be different. Okay. So if so according to this diagram, if you want to render or if you want to see the same content in different devices, for example, PC, mobile phone, etc., you can associate a different XSLT for different types of devices with the same data. So same data can be viewed in different ways by using the help of XSLT. Okay, with the help of XSLT, we can one second. So based on XSLT, we can view different types of views based on the same data will be viewed differently. So this is the second point or second role according to XML. Now coming to the third role, that is it is a standard used for transferring of data. Okay. So XML is used as a standard for transfer of a data. So this is the third rule. So according to this third rule, XML is the open standard. Open, it means that it can be used by any kind of a environment. So let us say that what does it deal with this transfer of data? So let us say that we have an application, and here we have an application, another application. So let us say that this application is developed using Java. Let us say that this application is developed using .NET. Okay. So here XML is used in between. Okay. So what does it mean? So XML is one kind of a feature which makes you to transfer the data of one sort of application to the another sort of application. Okay. Let us say that this application and this application wants to share the data. So what happens? XML is the interface through which this type of a .NET data will be understood by the Java data will be understood by the .NET through the help of XML. We can transfer the data which is developed using Java as well as .NET. So vice versa. Either from Java to .NET or .NET to Java, XML will be the interface through which a data can be transferred to different environments. And one more important aspect of transfer of data is firewalls. Regarding firewalls which are used in PCs, firewalls will not block XML data in communication because it does not have any executable codes. So XML does not have any executable codes. Executable nothing but exe type of a nature. So XML does not deal with the data which contains executable nature. So XML data is not having this kind of a feature. So XML deals with only simple text. Okay, simple text. So what happens? It will not carry this exe files along with it whenever we are transferring data from one environment to the other environment or one system to the other system through the network. So what happens here is the data will be carried over the network or the interfaces will not carry any kind of exe kind of a nature, executable kind of a nature, so that it can harm your PCs. So firewalls will allow, do not block XML communication. Firewalls can block the data which contains .exe file. So we cannot send exe files over the transmission or communication. So it may cause viruses into your PCs. So XML is one of the advantages in sending the data also. This is regarding transfer of data. Now coming to the next one, rule-based data representation. Rule-based data representation. So in this, we are discussing about DTD. It is nothing but document type definition. Okay, we are dealing with document type definition. So what is this document type definition? Document type definition is nothing but a predefined format. Let us say that if this is my XML file, which contains certain tags, ID, next name, let us say that salary. Okay. So in the another file, if we are transferring this file, okay, if we are transferring this file or trying to use this file or format or send this file, then what happens? If name, category, and salary. So these two are different. So it should not happen like this. Let us say that this file contains three tags, ID, name, and salary. So this is what the rule should be followed. It should not change this syntax, this structure. It should not change this structure while we are transferring the data. So let us say that in this, what happened? One more tag has been inserted here. So it should not be done like that. So it should not do like that when we are transferring. After, so this is what document type definition. It is nothing but it's the rule. According to rule, the first predefined tags are ID, not predefined. User defined tags are IDs, names, and salary. So the outcoming, or when we are sending this file, it should be same. It should not be altered. Okay, this is the rule should be followed. If you add one more element or tag, then it will be an error. So according to the DTDs, it will decide, it will tell you rules to be followed. Rules. According to rules, the structure of the XML file will be decided. Okay. Structure of the XML file should be followed. So this is all for today. In the next class, we are going to discuss much about XML. Thank you one and all.